Can you talk about the development, like sort of the race to develop a coronavirus vaccine? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of people all around the world, a lot of different companies, governments working on this. Do they work together? Is this kind of a battle, a rush to try to be the first one to get it out there?
No, I don't think, Anderson, that it's a rush to get it out there to beat somebody else. I mean, everybody wants to get a vaccine for their country, for the safety of their country, and if possible, make it available to the world. I mean, I can only speak for what we're doing. We have a core group of a number of candidates that we at the NIH and the FDA and other agencies within the government, the DOD, including the Department of Defense, are working together now to try and get a situation where we can get something that's done, that's safe, that's effective, that's quick, and that you could scale up. Because each of those are really important. I mean, to just say, I have a vaccine, throw it into people, what people don't appreciate, because they're so attent to getting a vaccine quickly, is that there could be deleterious negative effects of enhancement of infection. So you got to make sure you don't get slowed down by that, but you're aware there are safety issues. And then what we're going to do is we're in phase 1 now, which means we're looking predominantly at immediate safety and some immunogenicity, namely, does it induce the kind of response you want it to? We're going to go quickly as we get into the summer into a phase 2-3. We're going to go right into it, looking at safety and looking at immunogenicity. Now, if there are cases that are around, either here in the United States, which likely there will be some, or some of our international sites, because we have clinical sites that we put together years and years ago for HIV and for influenza and for other things. If we get in there and there are a number of infections, you can get an efficacy signal right away, which means you may know right ahead of time whether or not you have something that works. But importantly, what's being done now that's different than what most situations are, is that before we even know a vaccine works, we're going to have to make the investment in hundreds of millions of dollars to start developing a vaccine so that when you ultimately prove it works, you don't have to wait 5 or 6 months to scale up to get enough doses to give to a meaningful number of people. That's a risky financial circumstance, but it certainly is worth the risk, given what's at stake.
Dr. Fauci, you seem to have struck a bit of a more optimistic tone about vaccines. I know that you said a year from this past January would be next January, but still, I felt like you were trying to give some good news at that point. You actually thought it would take even longer. Now, do you really think that January is realistic? I mean, with everything that we know right now?
Well, Anderson, I think, Sanjay, I'm sorry, everything falls into place right, it will happen. But there are a number of situations there that could go wrong. Like, it may all of a sudden have a safety signal. Oops, we have a problem. It may be that actually it doesn't work. It doesn't protect people. I mean, we've been involved, I've been involved in vaccine work for decades. Right. Not every vaccine that we went after worked. So that's an assumption that it's going to be safe, that it's going to be effective, and that we're going to be able to do it quickly. I think each of those are not only feasible, but maybe likely. That's what I mean when I say by January, we'll do it. But I can't guarantee it. Sure. So what might happen is that people months from now will say, well, you said we were going to have a vaccine in January. I didn't say that. I said we're going to shoot to be able to have one if we're successful at each and every one of these places. And believe me, there's nobody in the world, no matter what they say, from what country, that's going to guarantee you that they're going to have a safe and effective vaccine at any given time frame. They may be cautiously optimistic about it, but nobody's going to guarantee that if they're being honest with you.